you know if you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur and if God is calling you in that direction? Entrepreneurship is risky. It's full of uncertainty, doubt, and confusion. But there's still something that calls many of us out of our cubicle and into the scary startup world. But how do you know if that's you? How do you know if you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur? Discerning God's call in your life is rarely easy. But when it comes to being an entrepreneur, there are a few good places to start. If we haven't met yet, my name is Brooke Amber, and I teach healthcare professionals how to launch, grow, and automate a business online so you can ditch the burnout and create a life of freedom. So if you're new here, consider subscribing because I put out a new training episode and free resources for you and your business each and every week. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you some questions to ask yourself as you're considering following God's call to start your own business. First thing I want you to think about is having a great idea, aka the product. Do you ever look at your day job and just think to yourself, I just don't see the point? If you have ever read the book of Ecclesiastes, the teacher has a keen eye for seeing everything that's wrong with work. He says that he hates all the toil because he has to leave it to someone else, not knowing if that someone else will be wise or a fool with it. In fact, if you've thought of starting your own business, you may even feel the same way. Maybe you're thinking entrepreneurship is the answer. Finding work that matters, that reflects your passions in life, so not everything feels so meaningless. But how do you know if this idea is the one? It's a tough question to answer, but ultimately you need to remember that whatever you create will eventually be left into the hands of ones you love. What is it that you want to leave behind? Is the idea you're following through on important enough to toil and labor for, even though you know somebody else will eventually take over? Something that makes entrepreneurship so glamorous is that it seems to offer you a sense of control. You get to be your own boss, right? You get to set your own schedule and choose who you want to work with and when you want to work. And those are real perks to the journey for sure. But like any job, it won't be yours forever. So if you're going to take on this risk, it might help to ask these questions first. How do you want your idea or venture to add value to the world? Are you willing to put it in the hands of someone else to ensure that it continues to exist? Definitely something to put thought to. Secondly, you want to know what's next. In other words, what is the potential that lies within this idea? So every entrepreneurial journey in history started with a question, what if? What if we could find a way to have light inside of our home? Now we have electricity. What if we could communicate faster than a letter that has to travel? Now we have phones and email. Those are two big words for dreamers and visionaries everywhere. But the truth is that the potential is just that, the possibility of something great happening. Well, we are reminded that only God knows what's next. You see, when you put your labor and hard work into the hands of the one who is ultimately in control, you can stop worrying about the maybe and just be faithful for today, giving God your what ifs. Instead of building your business on the potential of tomorrow, you can build it on the foundation of faithfulness that you can create today. So thirdly, I want you to ask yourself who you will work with next. This means you have to find your people. So in the book of Ecclesiastes, the teacher uses the Hebrew word havel. Translation, it means meaningless. He implies that working for your own gain is havel, or like grasping for smoke, which is difficult or impossible to do. Maybe you think, well, geez, that's how I feel about my job, and what exactly do I get out of it? Before you go and ditch your day job, you need to ask yourself, who will I work with? So as you think about the future, as you discern how God might use your entrepreneurial spirit, think about the people, like who shares your vision? Who is someone that wants to talk late into the night about this same idea? Who do you know that has complementary skills to you? Who can you help? How can you help them? The answers to these types of questions could come in the form of a client or in the form of a business partner, if that's the route you want to go. If being an entrepreneur is what God is calling you to do, you'll eventually need to bring in other people, even if it's the form of mentorship. And all of these questions are worth answering as you consider following God's call to start a business. A cord of one strand is quickly broken. Who do you want to tie yourself to? Now, with each episode, I like to give you a free resource. So in today's episode, I want to give you my free side hustle idea guide. It's full of 30 side hustle ideas to help you think about some ways that you could possibly start your own business. Grab a free copy in the show notes below, or if you're on my blog, just hit the yellow download button below this video. Now, back to my fourth tip. You will need to find discernment. Man, it's kind of depressing so far, hasn't it been? What you create will eventually fall in the hands of someone else. The future of your idea or your business is in God's hands and not your own. And your success depends a lot on the people you surround yourself with. Regardless of whether you choose to start your own side hustle or not, you are taking a risk, right? The question is this: which way are you going to jump? What you need to remember is that you can find satisfaction in your toil. Any toil when you first find satisfaction in God. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There is this lie that draws people into entrepreneurship, and they think that starting their own business will give them fulfillment. But here's the truth: it won't. You can create the most successful business in the history of mankind, but if you do it without a relationship with God, it doesn't matter. It's Hevel, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. A vanishing whisper of smoke. But when you invite God to play an active role in your life, be it your day job, a side hustle, or anything in between, that's when you will find true peace. So starting a business or keeping your day job in and of themselves will give you satisfaction and fulfillment. Starting a biz or keeping your day job in and of themselves will not give you satisfaction or fulfillment. Those things only come when you have a personal relationship with Jesus, and that's the true peace that you're looking for. Start a business or don't start a business. Whatever decision you make, know that what you're looking for can only be found that when you accept the gift from God, the daily common grace that can be yours forever. If you found this valuable, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next episode. And if you hang out on Facebook, please join me in my free Facebook Mastermind group, the Work From Home Entrepreneur Community. Until we meet again, hustle till your haters ask if you're hiring. Take care.